Alrighty, good morning. How's everyone doing? Morning, morning, morning. All right. So, today, I'm not excited about these days right now. They're just stuck. So, we continue to trade in the range, guys. We're not really doing anything, and I think the market's just awaiting tomorrow's data. That's my honest opinion. I'm really not trying to make much or lose much in this range. I really don't think we're getting anything. You're not missing out on anything. If you're not trading, if you're not touching anything, if you're not making much money, if you're not losing much money, you're in the same boat as a lot of people. This is a totally nothing opportunity market right now. There's obviously outliers. I'm not saying that as everything is this way. Obviously, yesterday we had some movement on Tesla, had some movement on BABA. This morning we're having some movement on Tesla. So there's obviously opportunity, but for if you want to make it easy on yourself, it's probably best to just take it easy here. Maybe you just scale down. But for now, guys, market's stuck. We'll look at the channel again. It's the same channel that I showed you for the last 2 weeks. I think tomorrow is a big day. I think tomorrow we get to see a move outside of this channel potentially. That's my hope. I hope to see a move out of this channel. I don't care which direction it is. If it's up, great. My long term makes money, and maybe I can trade it to the upside. If it's down, great. I'll trade it to the downside. Unfortunately, my long term will make money, or lose money, but that's okay. Doesn't matter. So let's just go ahead and take a look at the range today, guys. Let's look at some interesting charts by themselves, right? Some individual stocks that I do find some interest in today. But the overarching problem that we're having is that the market's not moving. So it's a little bit more difficult to trade when the market's not moving, right? So today's 9th, 6-9, haha, funny day. We'll see what happens. Futures, economic earnings calendar, not much on the earnings calendar. That's basically done. We had NEO earnings this morning. I'm not really too interested, but I think they guided down. So I think it's slightly down in this pre-market. Economic, we have jobless claims this morning at 8:30, so we'll see how that affects the market. Shopify is one that I will be watching today. That has stayed very strong. Shopify's been outperforming, pushing towards that 400 level. I've been buying shares of Shop, as I've been telling you guys. I think this is a good opportunity on Shop shares, so that's my main focus, is just what am I accumulating down here. Shopify is definitely one of them. So keep an eye on Shop today. We'll go ahead and look at the levels. BABA, very strong day on BABA yesterday, guys. We had an Asian market gap up. Had a very big run on BABA. Today, there was some news this morning. I'm really not sure exactly what it was. I'll have to look at it when we get to it. But it's bringing BABA down slightly. It looks like it was... what was something? China CSRC says not conducting work on... So it's about their Ant IPO. I think once that Ant IPO data came out, it seemed as though that was... When did BABA start to take a hit here this morning? Yeah, it is. It's that Ant IPO. So right at 640, right here, guys, at 640, BABA took a little bit of a dive. It was based off this news right here, that they are not conducting work on reviving the Ant IPO. So, yeah, a little bit of downside. We'll see what BABA does today. Definitely could be a good thing to watch, though. I mean, it might give us some price action, actually. So we'll take a look at BABA as well. Tesla, 750. That's a key level today. It is trading right at... Okay, it's back under 750 right now. So 750, we'll take a look at that. That might be the level we trade Tesla off today. Amazon, 121. This is a huge level on Amazon. This is a make it or break it level on Amazon. If Amazon flushes below... If Amazon flushes below 121, I think there could be downside if the market sort of correlates with it. NVIDIA, another flag is forming on NVIDIA that I'm watching. AMD went right back to 100 yesterday. Really interesting day on AMD. Very weak in the afternoon session. So watch out for that. That moved pretty quickly back down to 100. Roku, I really want to fade Roku off this Netflix rumor. It had a very strong day. I took a loss on it yesterday. I tried to take a put on it early morning yesterday. Had to get out. It was just too strong. It had that strength, the momentum from that rumor. So I had to take a loser on that. But I really want to fade it. I'm not gonna. That's a problem, right? My anxiousness to fade this move is a problem. I can't think like that. So I got to be careful. I got to hold myself back. Roku is traditionally a stock that I lose on almost every single time. So if I say I'm getting into a Roku play today, don't follow me because I most likely will lose money. Just to let you know. Google 2350 is still a level on my watch. This level just is sitting there and it's not moving. So this is interesting because Google is a big stock, right? And it should have big moves. So once it clears this 2350 either to the upside or starts to really lose momentum off this level, I know there's a big move coming. So I definitely want to keep an eye on it. That's what I had on the schedule. After that, we'll go over the tickers that you guys want to look at. So make sure to pull up the Google Docs and make sure to put your tickers in there for us to look at today. All right, so we'll go ahead and do the futures, guys. 8:30, we have jobless claims. So just if I'm not on there at 8:30, just make sure to remind me. Okay, Nasdaq. What are we doing? It's the same shit. All right, we're just stuck in this range. We've been in this range since Monday of last week, so it's been about 2 weeks. So Monday here, this is when the market was closed. That Monday the market was closed. We went higher in the futures session. Monday futures open, sort of slid. Then we just have been stuck ever since. We have some major levels above that are definitely going to be difficult to get through. But if the market really likes CPI data, I could see the push, right? I mean, we've been stuck for so long that I'm starting to think that if we do move, it's going to be a pretty drastic move to either direction. So 12.8 is still on the radar, right? 12.8 continues to stay on the radar here, right around this level here. 12.8, that's obviously the level we need to watch. After 12.8, we have the high of the Friday, Sunday session here, Friday after hours into Monday future session around 12,880. That's this high right up here. And then the psychological level at 13,000, guys. That's really the main one. The psychological break and hold of 13,000, I think, gets the market going into another nice little leg higher. I think that's a nice psychological break if we see it. I'm not saying we do. But if we do, that's probably going to set off a little bit more upside. If we can get the break and hold of 13, that would get us out of this range, and it would get us above these previous lows here on the 4-hour. So I'm not saying that happens. That is just what I'm watching. To the downside, you clearly see the level, right? 12.5. I mean, that's it. It's 12.5. It's a little bit, it's more of a range. It's not just 12.5. It's probably more of like 12.5 to 12.450. It's more of a range here. But if we significantly lose this level, you're gonna give up some of this move here, right? So 12.5 to 13,000. That's really, if we want to just put numbers on it, that's really the levels I'd be watching. 12.5 to 13,000. You can see the range. That's really all I can tell you guys. What happens today is it's going to depend on maybe the jobless claims. It's going to depend on maybe, what's the TNX doing, what's the 10-year doing. It's going to depend on anticipation for tomorrow. I would expect today to be pretty quiet with CPI tomorrow. So if there's nothing by maybe 11, 12 o'clock today, I am definitely not going to be doing anything today. I'll be waiting for tomorrow, making sure I go into tomorrow with the right mindset, not going into tomorrow on a big red day. No one wants to do that. Tomorrow's the day we want to stick around for, right? So today, we'll see what happens, guys. We're in the range. Just watch your range levels. ES is the same exact thing, right? Here we go. ES, same exact thing. highs of around 41.70 right here. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 rejections. Maybe, yesterday was another rejection here. And then yesterday we sort of slid, and today we're just sort of right in between, right in the inside. So we'll keep an eye on that. ECB. Okay. That they're deciding today. Good call, Sierra. Thank you. I'll take a look at that. So range 4170 upside, then really 4200 is the big one. And then to the downside, 4080. 4080. Thoughts on SPY straddle for tomorrow at the close? Yeah, I mean, Anthony, I personally don't like trading straddles, like trying to guess that there's going to be a big move. We all probably think there is going to be a big move, which there might be. But, I'm not really that type of trader that takes that type of trade in this market, especially. There's good trades that I just don't take. I don't like to. I've traded for almost 10 years now, guys, and I've done every single type of strategy you can think of. And I finally, for the last few years, have stuck to one thing. Sticking to that one thing has made me keep a very similar mindset, has made me stay consistent, stay profitable. And, for me, deviating from that is just hard. But yeah, Anthony, if that's something you like to do, I could see the reason for it. But, if it's outside of what you usually trade and you're just trying to take if you're just trying to throw a home run out there, like, oh, maybe I'll take a strangle, I haven't done this, or a straddle, just leave it. I would just personally say save your money, but, maybe it's a trade. Discount code chart isn't working. I'll take a look at it, Umar. Thanks. All right, so ES channel 4080 to 4170, about 100-point range here. Let's see what happens today. Dow, I'm sure, is the same exact thing. Yep, there's your Dow. Exactly, just sideways. 33.2 to 32.5. And the Russell gave up that retest level. 1910 to 1850 range. Little uptrend maybe. Small caps, not interested, but if you like small caps, watch for Russell to break 1910. So, guys, not much on the future side of things, right? It's the same thing we said yesterday. Range is there. We just have to watch the upper and the top and bottom side of our ranges. That's really it. All right. Let's continue. Shopify. So, Shop has been strong. And that's I like that. I like the outperformance. It's probably because of momentum off the stock split, which is I'm not that, excited about trading that type of momentum. It's probably going to die off eventually. But you can see we're holding 350. We got above this 388 yesterday. We have 403, and then we have 410. So I'll show you the importance of this 388 level right now. You guys can see this little double top previously at 388, right? Right here. If I go to the 1 minute chart, you're going to see what Shop did at 388 yesterday. Look at this. So it's not a, it's a nice hold. You can see, look at what Shop did all day yesterday at this green level. See how every single time that it pushed into this green level, it sort of bounced. That level is the double top from here, right? So that's good. I mean, it's good to see that. That's positive. It's positive to see that Shop held this double top resistance as support yesterday, right? That's a positive. So we're getting a little bit of a push off that. We had a lot of trouble up here yesterday around 394, 395. So that is something to watch out for. If I go to the hourly chart, you will see that we had a lot of trouble up here around 395, 396 yesterday. So be aware of that. If we can get above that, then I could see the move towards this 400 to 403, this high right here. So I'm just sort of watching Shop today, seeing if the momentum's still there. That's really it. I'm not that, I'm not that excited about this setup. Maybe it needs to do a little retest for us and then pushes higher. So just keeping an eye on Shop, focusing on the ones that have strength. Shopify clearly held up yesterday above 388, which was the double top. Is there more momentum here? Or do we sort of double top right here at these highs, right? Here's the 5-minute chart. Do we have more momentum through yesterday's highs? Or do we just sort of double top here and pull back to that 388? That's what I'm watching today. Do we get something like this and sort of push towards that 400? Or is today where we just pull back to that 388 and see if it holds again? So just watching Shop, guys. Strong yesterday. Figured I'd throw it out here and just sort of show you guys that it is finding a little bit of strength. Baba, insane day yesterday. Look at this, just crazy, crazy day. Just straight up. I think this was like 12%. Yeah, 12% day for Baba. Awesome. Big push here in the pre-market. For whatever reason, probably Asian market. Yeah, the Hang Seng was up. No, the HSI was down. The NKD was up 0.43. So yeah, just a big push here in the morning on Baba. Swing trading isn't great, but long-term trades rather than quick moves. Monthly puts on weekday. I mean, Tyler, it's tough, man. You know, how do we know what's going to happen in the next month, next 2 months, next 3 months? It's just, that's, you know, you might be right, Tyler, but it's just too uncertain for me. I don't know what's going to happen in the next month. This market doesn't really give you much insight into what's going to happen month over month. Next month could be a totally different story, right? Who knows? That's why it makes it difficult. So, Baba, you guys can see big downside this morning after that big spike. You can see we got that downside off that news about the Ant IPO. It looks like it's trying to hold this. Hold this 113 level. You can see this little triple bottom this morning, trying to hold that level. But I'm sort of more focused on the longer term analysis here. So here's the 4-hour chart, right here, guys. This is the 4-hour chart, and yesterday we were able to get through the 110 level, right? This was the big level that I was talking about. We were able to get right through that. And I'll actually show you what it did intraday, which is pretty interesting. Look at this, guys. I actually wish I took a trade off this because I was staring at it for like 30 minutes and just didn't take it. I should have. I just didn't really feel like I wanted to trade Baba because I traditionally don't have good luck with it. But look at this right here, guys. This is sick. You guys see that? Look at that triple bottom that formed on the intraday 1-minute chart. 1, 2, 3. Where is that level? That is right. That is right at the lows of these candles, guys. So that's pretty crazy, right? Triple bottom right at this previous support. So that definitely signaled strength yesterday, right? That was your entry there for that next leg higher. Now, what does Baba have to do moving forward? It has to hold that 111. It has to hold that 111. You cannot give back 111. So if you see a pullback to 111 today, does it try to bounce off of it again? Maybe. But I would definitely have 111 on your charts because that's a major level on Baba. And then you can see the top of this channel is right where Baba rejected. I mean, it's literally on the dot right there. All these highs right here, right? So very clean 4-hour chart, which is what I like. I mean, I like this 4-hour chart. It's respecting its levels. 128, upside channel, very clear, right? Look at that rejection right there. And then moving back to the downside, 111, right? 111, 1, 2, 3, right there. 111 is the level you need to hold. That is where you held intraday yesterday. Why there is no line at 120? I don't see 120 being important, really. It's really just 128 to 110. That's your channel. Look at this channel. So those are the levels I'm watching. Right here. You're basically trading right inside this channel today. So do we hold the 111 if we come back down to it? Do we hold it? Maybe move back to the 128? Or do we give up 111? If we give up 111, I'll definitely look to play some shorts. If we do lose 111. But momentum's there on Baba, so be careful playing the downside. You can clearly see it was there yesterday. A little bit of weakness this morning from that news. Let's keep an eye on 111 and 128, guys. Let's see what it does inside this range. Okay, Tesla. Tesla 750. This is a big level here on Tesla. So you have a previous high from yesterday right here, right? 750 is where it rejected. And you also have these lows here, right? 750, previous support. Also, 750 is just a psychological number. Now, look at what Tesla did yesterday at 750. This is the 1 minute chart from yesterday. Look at what it did yesterday at 750. Clear rejection, and it slid lower off of it. Now, today, you are back at that level. You're a little bit above it, but you're still at 750, right? It's not really above it. So 750, you're starting to slide off that. Is this a nice downside play today? And you know, man, if the market would just do what it should do, right? If the market, you know, if everything just does what we all like to see, and it just sort of gives back the pre-market move, which is something we've seen thousands of times, and it just double tops and gives back the pre-market move, fills the gap. This is such an awesome trade today, right? But the market just isn't going to give us what we want, right? Everyone wants the easy trade here, the no mind, the easy, no thinking trade here is double top at 750, psychological resistance, give back the pre-market weakness, the weak pre-market move, fill the gap, move back to yesterday's levels around 730, and let me play the put down to the downside, right? That's what we all want. It's pretty obvious, right? You don't really need to think about that. It's pretty clear. You know, I think everyone can agree that that would be an awesome trade. Does Tesla just do it for us today, or is it going to mess around with us? I wish trading was that easy to where you could just buy a put here and it'll actually do it. Maybe it is. Sometimes it is. But, you know, the market's been a pretty choppy market. So I would love to see that today. This would be an awesome one and done trade. Just trade like the 740 puts, let this thing slide and give up the pre-market move. I'll be watching for it. If it doesn't happen, oh well. Maybe you even find strength off 750 today. Who knows? But that would be an awesome double top to watch out for today. Hopefully it doesn't give up this move pre-market. I would really hope that this holds up before market open, or we're going to lose the opportunity to trade Tesla. Yeah, it usually is never a no-brainer, right? I agree, Drew. Okay, Amazon. This is a major level, guys, and I'm not, I'm not over-exaggerating this. You can clearly see that this is a flush point on Amazon. You can clearly see that this is a flush point on Amazon. You have a bottom, held here all day yesterday. If you give up this level, right, you should absolutely see a quick downside move, maybe towards the 116s, maybe towards 115, or maybe 112, right, at these pivot highs. So I would love to trade this if it just does as it should. If the market is weak today and Amazon flushes this level, I would love to trade it because I could clearly see the opportunity here, right? I think we all could. If you give up this support that is held for about a week now, you should flush, and you are starting to get that right now, actually. You are starting to see the flush. I really hope this doesn't happen before market open. That would really suck. So, watching this for sure today, guys, on Amazon. Really weak since the split. The price action's been just garbage since the split, which really sucks because Amazon's just not fun anymore. I do not have Amazon shares. I'm not a big Amazon share guy. I think there's money better spent. Amazon has done nothing for shareholders for like 3 years, so I'm really not interested in it. But I am interested in trading puts off this flush, I'll tell you that. So watching this flush, guys, big time. I like this. This is probably one of the most interesting setups for me today. Amazon puts off this flush. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I understand that, Krishan. I get it. I saw that as well. But I'm telling you, if the technicals hold up, double top, Tesla, rejection. But, yeah. Amazon, I like it. Watching that today. Okay. NVIDIA is maybe flagging for us again. Maybe. So right here, guys, you can see We're pulling back to potentially that 182 level again. 182 is held very strong. You guys can see support, double bottom at a previous high right here. So I'm definitely watching. To see, does NVIDIA trade back to the 182, and what does it do off that level? So today I'll be watching to see if NVIDIA trades back to 182. If it does, I would like to see if it holds support. And if it does hold support, then I could see the formation, maybe a little bit of a flag that starts to form here. Obviously, you need the NASDAQ to be strong to see some type of flag breakout, but that is just something I'm monitoring. Now, if NVIDIA gives up 182 and does this, then we know what the trade is, right? So either way, I'm just keeping an eye on 182 on NVIDIA, guys. This is a big level. It has shown itself to be a big level over the last few weeks. It has bounced off this level multiple times, so we can definitely find a trade as we start to get here. Are we going to find the trade to the upside, or are we going to see it lose 182, turn it into resistance, right? Either way, 182 should be a level of interest for you on NVIDIA if you are watching it. So definitely watching NVIDIA 182 here today. Let's go AMD. Interesting day on AMD. I don't know if I missed news because I wasn't really watching the market around 12 o'clock yesterday. If you guys know the reason for this, let me know. Okay, it's okay. Neo Cold Feet abandons partnership with AMD. I think that was it. Neo abandoned their partnership with AMD. I'm pretty sure that was... When did that come out? No, that came out in the morning, so that's not it. Let me know if you guys know exactly what that reason was, or if it was just... I mean, this could just be a technical flush. And that maybe it's not news driven, but we definitely got a pretty exaggerated downside move on AMD midday. Started right at 11:32 and lasted until about an hour. So about an hour to the downside right here. Really strong downside move. Definitely stronger than the overall market. You can see it got accelerated after the 104 break, right? Because the 104 break was pretty important. So right here you can see we had 104, we had 104, we had 104, and we had 104. So this was a flush point. This is what I'm talking about when I say flush points, right? Similar to that Amazon level, similar to the NVIDIA 182. So you have that flush point where you should have held. You did not. You can see if I go to the 5-minute chart, when it started to give up 104 right here, that's when the flush started to really occur. So you probably had a little bit of news, maybe a little news driven here, but also technically driven. Big flush point. Where did it hold? Where did it hold? Right here. 100. 100, 100, 100, 100, right? So nice 100 level. Do we see it break under 100 today? Is there more weakness under 100 today? Or are we seeing it maybe push back into 104 and reject? So the unfortunate truth on AMD is you're back within this range. You are right back within the range that we traded in between Friday, 27th of May to the 2nd of June, right? We are back within the $104 to $100 range, about a $4 range that we were previously trading in, and we are now back within it. So maybe you short the tops and maybe you buy the lows, right? Buy off 100, short off 104. If the range stays true, then there's your trade. But, trading AMD in the middle here, that's a little bit difficult. I need to see if AMD wants to slide to 100 today or if it wants to try to push into the 104. Then I can make my decision. So watch that on AMD. Big slip yesterday, 100 and 104 range. That's what I would be watching. Jobless claims. Yeah, let's go ahead and jump over to the NASDAQ. Let's see if we get any reaction here on jobless claims. And I'll pull up the Discord. Let's see what else we get here. ECB intends to raise interest rates by 0.25, so they're raising by 0.25%. ECB sees gradual sustained rise in key rate after September, raises inflation forecast, cuts economic growth forecast, so that is moving the market a little bit today. Definitely. Ant Group says there's no plan to relaunch IPO. That came out this morning. Zach, talking after hours if you're here. What else? Natural gas. Jobless claims at 8:30. I wanted to go up here real quick and show you guys this. Downgrades today. Nothing that I realize. Upgrades today. Tesla upgrade by UBS to 1100. Interesting. Price target changes. Anything that's noticeable? Not really. Roblox raises price target to 30. All right, there's some news for you. Let's wait and see the jobless claims. It should pop up here once it comes out. It should pop up as a new message here. Here we go. Jobless claims up 27,000 to 229. Unchanged. May 28th week, continuing claims unchanged. These numbers are getting smaller and smaller. I don't really see. We'll see if there's any reaction. So it's up about 27,000 versus the expected versus the previous. Expected was 206. So it definitely a lot more jobless claims than expected there. I mean, I don't know if that's a lot really. 20,000 jobs. It's pretty much in line. Yeah, I'd agree. I don't think that has as much of an effect as the ECB news this morning. I think that's probably a little bit more market influential than jobless claims, but we'll see. So nothing really, guys. This is probably just a little bounce. This really isn't jobless claims related. We'll see if there's any more acceleration, but jobless claims basically in line. Nothing to be that worried about or nothing that's going to move the market. Tomorrow's the big day. CPI data. All right. Let's continue. Does anyone believe the numbers? Who knows? Honestly, who knows, Anthony? I'm just going to trade the market and could care less about what these numbers say. Yeah, so a little bit of a pop on jobless claims, guys. We'll see what happens here. I'm really not one to believe in a small pop like that, so we'll see. Roku. Yeah, let's go Rangers, Bradley. God, man. It's going to be a big game tonight. If they play the way they did last game, they're going to get crushed. So we'll see. Hopefully at home they wake up. Roku. Everything in me wants to fade this move, but I know that is not a good thing to have in my mind. So I'm trying to fight that battle. I don't believe that Roku should be moving higher off that Netflix Roku rumor, which was actually, I think Netflix actually came out and said it was not even legitimate. I'm not sure if I just saw that, if that was also a rumor. It says selling to Netflix makes little sense for Roku. Yeah, I don't really see much else, but so it says 3 reasons why the analysts think Netflix Roku deal will not materialize. So I don't really get it, but it is what it is. We'll see what happens. I think this could be a nice little rejection point on Roku. We'll see. In this previous supply, right in this 105 area, you can see it starting to reject today. I would love to fade this move, and I know Roku's traditionally a weak name, but of course, got to be careful. So watching 105 here today on Roku, looking to see if it fades off this level. Looking to see if it gives up yesterday's trading day. Here's yesterday's trading day. Let me get 15-minute. So you guys can see, I mean, it was pretty much vertical here. So just sort of watching to see, does Roku give up some of these retest levels? Really most important, I'd say, is 100. Psychological 100 is probably the level I'd be watching to give up. So I'm going to watch Roku 100. I'm going to watch Roku 105. Keep an eye on it within this range. If I see Roku drop 100, I might actually put an alert there. At or below. Let's go 150 just to get me some time before it hits. So going to put an alert there. See if Roku wants to flush 100 today and give up some of yesterday's move. Just going to watch that. I don't know if I'm going to trade it, guys, but I will be looking to fade this move off Roku. So we'll see. Watching that. But most important, on the 4-hour chart, you can see the resistance that it's tapping, right? Right there, right there, right there. If I zoom out, it dates all the way back to March and February of this year as well. So watching 105 there. What are my thoughts on CPI? Uh, I couldn't tell you, Andy. I don't try to guess those things. That's not really. I don't try to cloud my mind into guessing what the market's going to do. I don't think there's any, any reason to. I'm just going to wait to see what the numbers are and trade the reaction. Google. This level is crazy on Google, guys. I've been watching this level for like 2 weeks now, and it just does not move. It just continues to trade right at 23.50. So you go back to the 4 hour. Here's the 4 hour on Google. I would love to see something happen outside of this 23.50. Either we finally give up this little uptrend and we get a very nice flush here, which could be a huge opportunity on Google, or we actually get the break and move up towards that 2,500 level. So I would love to see a move here on Google soon. I think it is definitely coming. I think maybe it's just waiting on the market to move, which is probably right. It's not going to do much when the NASDAQ sideways, right? Google is very correlated to the NQ. If the NQ sideways, then I'm pretty sure that Google is going to stay sideways as well. So once we get that move on the NASDAQ, Google will be a stock that I have very much interest in. Once we get that move on the NASDAQ, whether it's up or down, Google is a stock that I will be interested in because I know that this level should cause a reaction, right? There should be, when you see a stock that's squeezing like this, just think of it like a coil, right? The coil's getting tighter and tighter. And there's going to be a move on either side of this 23.50 level. So I'm waiting. I keep on updating you guys, but I'm just waiting to see where is the reaction here. It's going to be whatever the NASDAQ does is what Google will do. So if the NASDAQ breaks through that 13,000, we're going to get a push into the 25. If the NASDAQ breaks down, we're going to get a slip of this uptrend. So just waiting to see what happens here on Google. I think it's a good watch, guys. I think it's something you keep an eye out for because there should be a move coming outside of this tight range that's building. And when the NASDAQ moves, this should give you some opportunity. So definitely worth a watch in my opinion. All right. That is just about all that I had. Let me think. Let's just look at a few tickers. Let's look at Apple. Let's look at some tech names for you guys, and then we'll go over the tickers that you want to look at. Here's Apple. Just a total chop fest. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, how do you even make money? This is the last... this was like the only opportunity here on Friday last week. But since Friday, this is 2 weeks now that Apple's traded within a $2 range, $2 to $3 range. Crazy. So... here's the 5 minute. Actually, you know what? Let's go hourly. You guys can see that we are sort of just stuck within. It's really this one. It's sort of like this 146. It's difficult. It's like all over the place. You could call it this, right? This could be more of your range. This consolidation to 144 and then up to the 151. That's probably more of your range. But you can see that there's it's almost as if there's a mean line, like a middle line here, sort of right in the middle, like a standard deviation right in the middle of it. Do I have standard deviation channels here? I don't think so. But if you were to take a middle line as if it was a standard deviation, that would be your middle line, right? And it's just sitting at the middle line, and it's like not wanting to deviate past the middle line. You can see it just keeps coming back, trying to revert back to that mean. So right now, I think Apple is very stuck. I think it waits for the NASDAQ, guys. I wouldn't trade Apple until you see the NASDAQ move, personally. What else? Did we go over anything? Let's go over Upstart. I think this is getting interesting as well, guys. 44 level was pretty big. It also broke that uptrend that we talked about. So here, let me show you now. 30-minute chart. You guys can see right here, we had an uptrend that was building an ascending wedge, ascending triangle. Right there, we had that ascending triangle building. We broke it, right? We broke the ascending triangle. Now we are about to lose the 44 level. If we lose the 44 level, you can clearly see, look at what Upstart is doing today. Do you see this? You see how it's turning that previous support into resistance this morning? That gives me some confirmation to the downside. So if you guys look at this 15-minute chart, you can see what it's doing this morning, just this morning, day over day. It is turning a previous support into a very clear resistance level. So if Upstart loses these lows here around 43.30, I think you probably get some downside flush. So watching that level on Upstart, keeping an eye on that today to see if the market's weak, I think Upstart should go with it. All right. Let's go over the tickers that you guys want to look at. Let's pull that up. All right. So first one is SE. Let's go to the hourly chart. Let's take a look at SE. Actually, let's go 4 hour. There we go. All right. Yeah, SC rejecting 90 is what you put in the chat. I see that. Yep, I see that right there. I would wait to see if it breaks this big bear flag. This is a huge bear flag on SC. I'd probably wait to see if it drops below this. This is sort of like Upstart as well. I would wait to see if it drops this. If you want to play this, wait to see if it drops this uptrend. You could trade it off the 90, right? You could definitely trade it off the 90. You have a better risk reward up here, right? Because you just put a stop over 90 and you're good to go, right? As long as you're accepting of the risk, you put your stop over 90. You don't want to see the stock back over 90, and you just let it go, right? If you want to take a swing put or something, if you think this is going to break down here, that's a potential trade. Give yourself some time. Have a stop over 90. You think the technicals say, okay, downside here off this 90 level. I want to see this thing break down. That's a potential trade. It's just not as much confirmation as you'd probably like. I'd probably want to see this uptrend break first, because you could see this, right? Right? You have to think of both scenarios. You could just see the downtrend test or the uptrend test and then the breakthrough. So I'd probably wait for the uptrend to break, maybe retest it, and then go ahead and move to the downside. So I would watch that. But yeah, I like that 90 rejection for sure. Good call. Amazon, we went over already. Watch the one. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I like that. I like it a lot. We'll see. I mean, does it give us the price action we want at market open? Maybe 120's next. Watch 120. That's a big level as well. I like it. I would watch it for sure. Microsoft. Yeah, Microsoft's trying to hold 270. It's trying its best, but it's just a chop fest, guys. I mean, look at this crap. How are you trading this? You trading this? I could guarantee you that I would say there's a very small percent of people in the world that were able to pull a profit out of Microsoft in this range. There's just no reason. I would look past it until you get a NASDAQ move. Walmart. Holding this downtrend pretty aggressively, guys. Look at how aggressive it keeps on rejecting the downtrend. If it keeps rejecting the downtrend, I think you're going to retest 120. Right? Look at that downtrend. It's just holding. Every single time it tests it, it rejects. So, yeah, I mean, if it rejects again, if Walmart's going to... that's crazy. Look at this. Wow. I've never seen this before. This is new to me. Look at that day. That is wild stuff. It's almost as if there's an algo that just says sell every time it hits the downtrend. I mean, it's possible. That's definitely possible. Look at that day, guys. That's very strange. Look at that day right off that downtrend. And then look at this test right here. Holy crap. Yeah, crazy. That downtrend is solid. I mean, I've never seen it respect that much. Jeez. So, yeah. Walmart downtrend. If you want to trade the downtrend, that might be your trade, right? That might be your trade, trading the downtrend. You've seen what it's done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and possibly 7 times. So, yeah, guys. I mean, if it's gonna do it 7 times over the past 4 or 5 days, that's the trade I would look for. We went over Google. Let's go over Zoom. Yeah, I'd look for Zoom to retest this level. I know we talked about this. It actually sort of did it yesterday, didn't it? I would look to get long Zoom if it retests this level. That's really what I'd be looking for. Personally, I don't trade Zoom. I think it's a crap stock. Have no interest in it. But, maybe it recovers. Maybe it holds this 112 area. 4 hour. Look for it to retest 112. Previous triple top. Look for it to turn into support, right? Triple top into support, buy it off that, right? That's what I'd look for. If you want to go long zoom, look for it to hold 112, 113. NEO, NEO had earnings this morning. You guys can see it's just not doing too hot this morning. They guided down, I believe. Downbeat outlook, steep drop in gross margin, offset narrower than expected loss. The deliveries were up. Loss per share, 18 cents. Gross margin down to 14% versus 19.5. That's important. That's not good. Okay. Sales guidance below estimates. So I would say it's not going to be a great day for NEO unless it just recovers off maybe some Asian market strength. But yeah, I would just maybe try to watch the earnings continuation. You can see it's also rejecting off that 100 SMA on the daily chart. Okay, CVX. Yeah, I mean, the trade's over on CVX, guys, right? It's done. You got to accept you missed it. It's over. That's what you got to do, right? Sometimes you just got to accept you missed it. The good trade is gone. If you're a trader that doesn't chase, if you're a trader that waits for your setup, the good trade is gone. Right? What was the good trade here? It was a break and retest of previous all-time highs. It was right here. Here's your entry. Right in this area. As it starts to push off that all-time high. Good trade's gone. At this point, you're chasing. Maybe you're right. Maybe you make money because chasers of oil stocks have made money this entire year. So I'm not saying that you can't still win by chasing this to the upside. That's absolutely possible. But the good trade, the structured trade, is here, right? It's gone. Because if you get in here, let me just put an example out for you. If you get in here on calls, your stop loss has to be below 175 or 174. You have to give it that room. If you don't give it that room, you're going to get stopped out on a trade that could still potentially hold. So if you get in here, you have to risk about 8 points. If you got in off the retest, you're only risking about 2 points. So you're exposing yourself to more risk by getting in here. What does that do? That lowers your risk-reward ratio. That is why you don't chase, because you have a low risk-reward ratio. Oxy. Yeah, I look for Oxy to bounce off the 20 on the daily chart, actually. You know what this looks like? This looks like it's a time correction right now. This looks like a time correction to me. What is a time correction? A time correction is when the stock will trade sideways and allow for the moving averages to catch up. That's what this looks like to me. So if Oxy starts to trade into this 20 over the next few days, I'd look for that. I'm going to leave this on the chart, guys. I'm going to leave this on the chart, and we're going to look at, maybe in a few days, maybe next week, to see if that happens. So let's see if that happens. Wait for Oxy to get to that 20 SMA. Roku we looked at. Netflix. I say buy shares of Netflix. That's my opinion for you. I'm a share buyer of Netflix down here at 170, at 180. I think Netflix figures out how to make their company come back. I'm gonna believe in Netflix in the long term. I still love everything that Netflix has to offer. I'm not a Netflix hater. I know a lot of people like sort of dog on the stock now because of how dead it is. Right? I'm sure it's very easy to dog on this stock, right? It's like bullying the kid that everyone bullies at high school. It's it's easy to do. Everyone does it because everyone else is doing it. But for me, I might be psychotic here, but I think Netflix has a fantastic product. I think they have an extremely strong name brand. Everyone knows what Netflix is in the world, basically. Netflix is known by everyone. And I like what they put out. I mean, I love watching Netflix. Stranger Things was awesome. Ozark, countless movies. I think they do a good job. So I'm a share buyer here. Okay, that's a great way to get banned. See you later, freak show. So yeah, I'm a share buyer here in Netflix. We'll see what happens in 10 years. We'll see if I'm wrong. We'll see if I'm right. But that's really my advice to you. I don't really like trading options on Netflix down here. It's been pretty silent. So I would maybe just watch for a break of 207. Look for a hold of around 194. I'm crazy. Well, is what it is. 194 to 208. That's what I'd watch. That's what I'd watch. Okay. Last but not least, of course, the last one is GME from someone in the chat. I would look for it to hold this 135 level. It's really not that bad of a retest on GME. I got to give it to GME here, right? I can't dog it here. This is actually a pretty nice technical hold right here at 136, 135. It's really not that bad of a technical hold. This was, again, another nice technical hold as well. So can't dog it too much. I probably won't trade it, but, if you do hold this 136, guys, GME could hold, right? If it sort of holds this retest, it could hold. So watch out for that. All right. That's it. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. If you guys could just take 1 second out of your morning and press the like button. The Nasdaq's breaking down. Oh, baby. It sure is. Yeah, she's breaking down a little bit. I see it. This could be a nice little downside day. That could be a little downside day there. Let's see. I mean, you got to watch out for demand, though. Demand's still below. Amazon's just... Amazon's going to go without us here, guys. This is what I wanted to see. This is what I wanted to trade. This is what I wanted to trade on the intraday. Right here. This aggressive flush. That's very unfortunate. That would have been a sick trade this morning, guys. There's more to be had for sure. So maybe we look for a little morning bounce. But at this point, guys, you have to wait for it to bounce, right? You can't just chase this out of the gates. You got to wait for it to bounce and then maybe buy that put. Yeah, it's not moving too much, but I hate to see it start to unravel in the pre-market. I want to get it before it unravels. But yeah, it's unraveling a little bit. You guys can see it here, starting to flush a little bit. So watch out for that. The lower limit of the ES is 4070. Right here, 4075, 4080. It's all in that range, right? 4080 to around, it's a range. It's not a perfect level. 4080 to 4070 is what I'd look for on the ES, right in here. Right there. 4080 to 4070, about a 10-point range. All right, guys, have a great day. Press that like button for me if you could. Help me get to 50,000 subscribers. If you're not subscribed to this channel, but you come to the live stream every morning, that is just very foul of you. You should absolutely subscribe. I appreciate that. Thanks for all the support. Tell your friends, tell your parents, tell your sister, tell your girlfriend, tell everyone or boyfriend about the channel. Thank you guys so much. Have a fantastic trading day, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace out.